Welcome again, Taurus. Dadhichi Toth here from astrology.com.au with April 2015 horoscope. And you know, the passion continues. I'm just looking at your horoscope here, and we talked about Venus being in your sun sign. Mars has just snuck in there as well, and that adds a bit of vitality to your sun sign right now, particularly in the way of romance and any sort of personal negotiations and relationships that you may have. But that's an interesting one because it's counteracted by the position of the Sun and Mercury in your 12th house. You've probably had a busy couple of months, first couple of months of the year. May want to have a bit of a rest now, and so that's an interesting. It's almost like a contradiction, really. You know, the Mars and Venus is real push forward stuff, whereas you've got the Mercury and the Sun in a more laid back position. But what that is, it's probably not a bad thing, because Mercury, being the intellectual planet, shows that you can be quite mentally relaxed while you're physically active. And of course, part of the process of relaxation is to understand that when, I see this a lot with people who are, studying a problem. They're working with a pen and paper, and the jaw muscles are clenched and they're squinting. There's all this tension in the body, and absolutely not necessary. It's not like you're lifting a load of cement up a mountain that you have to grit your teeth. So take a breath this month, use the physical energy and the passion and drive that you have, but maintain some equipoise and some mental relaxation, and do whatever you have to do that. Breathing is an excellent way to do that, and Mercury does rule one of the air signs, Gemini. So working with your breath can certainly help you overcome that. I'm just looking at the transit list there. We see a very favourable aspect on the 2nd from Mercury to the Sun. And bear in mind, when I'm talking about these aspects, they build up to this specific date. So you'll feel the effects of that even late March into April, or a few days before the said date. That gives you slow, deliberate thinking. Again, that might relate to the fact that you are able to slow the thinking processes down and really not be distracted by anything. So this aspect is very, very good for concentration on focus on any sort of studious matters that you have in mind. The Sun conjunction Venus there on the same day is very, very nice for socialising and just feeling comfortable in yourself. So I see the first few days of the month being quite good. There's a full moon on the 4th. That takes place in your 6th house of work. So that's going to shift dramatically from all these other relaxing attitudes that I've mentioned to this workplace scenario, where you're going to have to maybe lessen the emotional reaction to what's going on in the workplace, perhaps to someone that you're working with who's giving you a bit of a hard time. And I think you can do that. We see on the 6th the very favourable aspect from Mercury to Jupiter, again from the 12th house, but this time to your 4th house of domestic affairs. So that could herald some opportunities for you to, chill out with loved ones at home in a nice, comfortable scenario where you just kick back and enjoy what's going. The movement of Venus, your ruling planet, makes an important shift in its transit on the 12th, and that is to your finance sector. So this is very, very nice. And of course, your finance sector is ruled by Gemini, which indicates the opportunity to earn money through more than one source during this particular cycle. That takes place on the 12th and continues for a few weeks. So make yourself available to any job interviews. Don't be afraid to ask for additional money if that's what you want. And this is also a time when, for those of you who've been thinking of doing something that is in keeping with your passion, how you can actually earn money through what it is that you love. This could be an artistic vein, a creative activity that can finally give some of you the added benefit of financial remuneration. Got it out, remuneration. Mercury moves to your 1st house. That's nice, moving back out of that 12th house. You'll be mentally stimulated at this time. Lots of new ideas will come about during this period, and you'll want to communicate those ideas to everyone around you. So this is a good time to, put your pen to paper, really consolidate what your concepts are, and then if you want to present that to someone, this is definitely the time to do it. You've got around 25, 26 days where this is a really powerful transit and should bring good results. The sun also moves to your sun sign, so that brings with it a revitalization process. We call this the solar return. It happens once a year for 1 month, and this is definitely the time where, if you've been feeling, as I said earlier, a bit of a low-key period where you're not physically that active, the sun is going to lift your spirits physically, mentally and spiritually. This gives you the opportunity to shine brightly, which is what the sun does. Some additional influences there on the 22nd are shown by the very favourable aspect from Mars. This is a triangular aspect, 120 degree aspect between Mars and Pluto from the 1st house to the 9th house. This is a dramatically positive influence. It gives you mental tenacity and the ability really to sort of compete on an intellectual level. So students born under the sign of the bull, under Taurus, can do really, really well. Examination results should be better. And you just have the drive, which is important, because if you start to become, apathetic about what it is that you have to do, you're not going to meet your deadlines, you're not going to get good grades. But this, at least, is an indicator that things are on the up and up. Mercury conjoins Mars in your 1st house. That can show a little bit of mental disruption, maybe some miscommunications, and certainly an irritability that might not go down well with the people that you're hanging out with or needing to negotiate with. So you need to pull back a little bit, have a good game plan there, and don't shoot from the hip. That's around the 23rd. We see Mercury conjoin the Sun on the 24th. That's 23rd and 24th. Both Mars and Sun are very fiery, hot planets, so that's going to activate your intellectual needs, and also, as I said, the tendency to be argumentative. Venus is in a nice aspect to the career zone, especially around the 26th. So that brings with it the opportunity to socialise in your work, to meet people and to network in a way that's going to bring good results to you professionally. Mars conjoins the Sun on the 27th. This is a very militant sort of thing, but I'd say you need to redirect those energies, get into that exercise regime again, and finish off the month on a physical note. Hope to see you here next month, same time, same station. In the meantime, join me at astrology.com.au. We have our daily, monthly and yearly horoscopes in more detail. We have lots of free readings there in the Oracle section, and for more personalised services you can talk to me or any of my other psychics and practitioners. We're more than happy to help you. Have a great month. See you here then. Bye bye.